Hey, I'm Walt, and I'm here with another stock talk video. All right. So today I am going to talk about why I believe that Bitcoin is really crashing. All right. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to give my opinion on Bitcoin. I personally believe that Bitcoin should be treated as a hustle. And when I say a hustle, what I mean is before you buy a single cent of Bitcoin, before you invest a single dime, you must look at it like, how much is my gain? So, when you have $100 and you're about to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, you got to say to yourself, all right, how much return am I looking for? Am I looking for 25%, 50%, 100%? Because once you hit that mark, you have to sell to realize that gain, because that is the only way you actually realize that gain. It's not like a dividend stock where you can keep the money in there and they're going to pay you money every quarter or every month. You only get that gain if you sell. So that's number one. Number two, Bitcoin is susceptible to manipulation and scamming. And what do I mean by that? Bitcoin is based on people's belief, right? People believe that, okay, I'm going to buy into this because I believe other people will too, and it's going to go up. Now, I know some people are saying, well, that's the same way with the stock market. No. With the stock market, you can buy stocks like a Chevron or Exxon. They have earnings reports, they have forward guidance. They actually make money that they actually pay their shareholders. So you're actually generating income. This is actually something tangible. People's belief is not tangible. All right. So this is where the scam part comes in. You rewind back a few years ago when the crypto lenders were going bankrupt and so many people were losing millions of dollars, and a combined millions of dollars. The retail investor, the individual, everyday Bitcoin buyer, losing millions. Now, at that point in time, Bitcoin was as low as 30 something thousand a coin. So, how do we fast forward to October 6th, I think it was, when Bitcoin was over 120,000, right? I'm going to tell you why I believe that happens. I don't believe that the retail investor, the individual investor, when people were losing so much money in Bitcoin, kept putting money in it in a mass to make such type of movements for it to get to 120 something thousand. I believe that the institutional investor did so. And why that is the case? Institutional investors, they have billions and billions of dollars on hand. So if I'm an institutional investor, and this is just my opinion now, no facts here, just my opinion, and I have billions of dollars on hand, and I know that the more a asset is bought, such as Bitcoin, it goes up. And when it's sold, it goes down. The more money that I have to put in it to buy it, the higher it goes. So if I'm putting in the course of 3 months, $500 million here, $1 billion there, that value of the Bitcoin is going to jump. Now, the individual investor, the retail investor that got turned off from it because of all the money that was lost a few years ago, now the media starts saying, hey, Bitcoin is rising. It looks like it could project to be $500,000 a coin by 2027. You know, then the social media reporters get that information and spread it. Now, the individual investor falls into the trap of FOMO, the fear of missing out. And the institutional investors, they know this. They know this. So they know we pump this up. Most people, they don't buy when things are down. They buy when it is up, which is really not the smartest way to do it when you're trying to build wealth. But they see it going up. They got to grab. I got to get me a piece of that pie. So now the institutional investors, they pumped it up, put 3 billion in it or more. And now the retail investors over the course of the 3 months, 5 months, They putting $20 in there each paycheck, $100 a month, and enough of them do it. Now it continues to grow. Now you fast forward to Friday. Man, the labor report comes out. You know, jobs aren't being created at the rate that we thought it was in September. Unemployment is rising. You know, man, people are defaulting on car loans. You know, at some point, they know that when people need money to survive, they're going to tap into assets that are not generating them income, i.e., Bitcoin. So, what do? They beat you to the punch. They go ahead and they sell. So, they go ahead and they take their initial investment and then some of the profit. That is how, in my opinion, you have Bitcoin in October go to $126,000 and then go all the way down to 80 something thousand dollars a coin Friday. You know why? Because I don't believe retail investors were selling Bitcoin at that rate to make the market for Bitcoin's price to move like that. The same way it shot up was the same way that it went down. And that was the institutional investor manipulating the coin so that they can make all the money, and the people that are investing in it, the everyday people that don't have a plan of when they're going to sell before they buy it, they end up being the biggest losers. All right. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below.